Take two. I'm just going to see if it's any better. For some reason, my LAN's not working. So my internet feels dodgy. Let me just see if this is any better. Maybe this looks a bit better. Let's just see if anyone's back on. I'm so sorry. I'll retry. As many times as we need to. Right, hang on. Yay, Laura's sorted. Good. Am I delayed? Am I here? Does everything seem okay? I can see it freezing on my other screen, so I'm guessing maybe not. Morning. Jade, are you there? Can you just tell me that it's working properly, please? Seeing as you're not there, I'm guessing maybe not. Right, we'll see. I'm just going to go for it, and then we'll see what happens next on this one. So, good morning. If you haven't met me, what a lovely introduction to me. I'm Roxy. I'm a business coach. I'm also a mental health therapist. And I have really poor internet where I live, and there's naff all that I can do about it. We've changed provider a billion times, but you'd think I live in the back end of beyond, and I don't. However, right, good. Marie, you're here. Thank you. Don't know where my sister's gone. She's supposed to be in charge of looking after me. So, done. This morning, we're going to talk about Mailerlite. So, first of all, for anyone that's on, do you use an email marketing software at the minute? First question. If so, which one? Yay, Jade's here, I think. Jade, at the top of the post, click so that StreamYard can see your name, or I can't see you. Look, you appear like this. Ta-da! So, does anyone use an email marketing software? If so, which one? If not, why not at the minute? Is it just because you don't know? You've never used it before at all? Is there another reason? And then let me just get reset up because I was set up so brilliantly. And now I'm obviously not. Hang on. I've got 25 screens open and none of them are Mailerlite. All the best people do, isn't it? Just do the best they can when they can. Oh, so organised. Right. So you don't use it, Laura? Not at the minute. Who's that? Marie, above my picture, there's a thing that says click your name. See if that will work. I can't even get into Mailerlite now, so this is where all the fun starts. So really basically, when I'm talking about email marketing, I'm talking about using a free online software to deliver emails to everybody that's on your email list. So I'm not talking about emailing people individually. I'm talking about using something that's all together to send the emails out. Right, hang on, because I've just managed to get back on Mailerlite. So let me make sure I can screen share. What a saga there. Right, I can screen share. I don't want to just yet. Right, I'm set up again. Laura, hasn't got round to it, but on your list to do. Wasn't sure if you could add people manually who have given written permission to the newsletter on your system. I'll talk about that in a minute. Hi, Sharon. Sorry about all of that saga. I'm going to close my other screen because it's distracting me right now. So, email marketing is so important. The stats are huge. So you're 6 times more likely to get a click-through on an email marketing campaign than you are from social media. 6 times, that's huge. And a big reason for that is that the people on your list, on your email marketing list, directly want to hear from you. They've signed up to your list because of you, because they want something that you're doing for them, basically. So it's really, really important to know how effective that it can be for you and how to use it in the right way. So these little Monday morning trainings that I'm doing are all designed to just give you a little bit more insight into tools or ideas or strategies or whatever it is we're talking about that week. It's not an in-depth comprehensive training session, but I am going to show you some stuff while we're there. This email marketing one's really interesting. So I taught a live course on it, which Sharon came on, and I'm creating I taught a live course. I'm creating an online course, just another mini one like the Ideal Clients one. And saying that, if you haven't done the Ideal Clients course yet, really, really do. It's 10 quid and it will set you up perfectly to know who you're actually wanting to market to. Jade, if you're there, will you just pop me the link back on? Because it was in the top, but now from all the saga, it's not there anymore. So yeah, email marketing is massive. So I'm going to talk specifically about Mailerlite today. Mailerlite is currently the best free one, I think. There are tons, absolutely tons. I used to use MailChimp mostly, but Mailerlite's free version is now so much better than that one. I generally use a paid for marketing software, but I want to talk about the stuff that you can use for free. So that's what Mailerlite is. It's an online software. It's free to use, and it means you can send out emails to everybody. Thank you, Jade. That link's very long. I think it should stop earlier. It's fine. I'm going to show you really quickly how you can create and send out an email campaign. I'm showing you on my kind of test account, so there's nobody on there because I need to cover that off for GDPR. I'm going to talk about like segmenting your subscribers so you can send different emails to different people depending on what they do. So I'll talk about some of the different lists that I've got. So yes, questions. I want your questions firing in at me if you've got anything. If you're watching on replay, make sure you say #replay and tell me your questions. I will come back in and answer them, but there will be some online stuff. I can see there's quite a few of you on, but I'm not sure who you all are yet. So I'll just answer Laura's question really, really quickly. I think Jade had the full one to type in for me, but it was about, so Laura has a franchised business, and yes, I can tell you more about GDPR. Sorry, I don't know if anyone can see the comments. Jade, show your name. Laura has a franchised business, so she cannot collect email addresses straight through her website. So these are people who have actively given her permission to email them. So yes, you can do that if they've given you permission for you to send them an email. Now, the thing with GDPR is they must have given you explicit consent to send whatever it is you're sending. So if you've said you want to sign up for my weekly newsletter and they've said yes, you can only send them a weekly newsletter. You can't send them other things. It has to be explicit consent for what you are going to send them. This was your original question, so there's quite a bit to it. You can't see me anymore. So yes, if they've specifically given you verbal consent is fine. If they're specifically giving you verbal consent to add their email to your list to hear about upcoming new events or the new term, then that is fine. You can add them on manually. However, you sort of had a bit of a question in here as well about you can't have them sign up through landing pages because you don't have that capacity on your website. I hate talking over this. Hi. You can create a landing page on Mailerlite that you can send them to specifically sign up to that for you. So A, it takes away the idea that you have to do it manually. So you won't have to input them manually. B, it gives you kind of that bit of extra coverage, but it's also just a more professional flow because then they can subscribe via Mailerlite onto a landing page that's hosted on Mailerlite, so separate to your website. You can give them options of what they want to sign up for. It allows you to do a heck of a lot more if you can get them to come in directly through Mailerlite. So I will show you that now in a really small thing. Like, bear in mind, this is a half-hour training and I've already wasted 5 minutes of the freaking thing with my internet. So, yeah, Jason can tell us a bit more about GDPR. GDPR is the General Data Protection Regulations, and it basically says you can't send things to anybody digitally who hasn't asked for them. You must have explicit consent to send them what you are asking for. That's it. There's a lot of talk and hype and kind of panic, fear-mongering around it. Mailerlite will protect you to some degree. Basically, what it's saying is don't put anyone's email address on your database who hasn't given it to you to use. Don't buy lists of email addresses. They won't be your ideal customer anyway. So again, if you haven't done the ideal customer module, please go and do that because it will make everything else so much more easy. But basically, yes. The other thing with GDPR that lots of people don't know, and Donna threw up an interesting question the other day because she said she's exempt, and I still need to look into that you have to pay a yearly fee to the Information Commission's Office to be able to keep anybody's data. So this doesn't just apply for email marketing. It applies for if you're keeping a list of customers for anything, for me, for any therapy clients or website clients that I work with, any design, anybody. I have to pay a fee of 40 quid a year, 35, I think, by direct debit, to legally hold that information. To check that out, it's just if you go to the Information Commissioner's Office website, they will milk you there. Anyway, that's not about Mailerlite. That's all about GDPR. And it's really important to know, but not what I came on specifically to talk about. So Mailerlite, one thing I want to show you then is kind of how it works a little bit, how you set up a campaign, how you send an email out to your first subscribers. So I'm going to screen share with you. Who knows what's going to happen because I'm on 2 screens now. So we'll see. So let's do this. Right. So hopefully you can see, let me get on the right window now. Hopefully, hang on. That's why I can't do it. Just one tick. Let me share a different one. I was so organised, like me and Jane just spent 2 minutes setting this up. I was so proud of us. Screen 2, that one. Right, now you can see. So when you go into Mailerlite, you need to register for an account. It will make you verify your account, which is really useful. If you've got a website, it's dead easy to do. If not, they will do it manually. So they will check through with you. So this is one I've set up as kind of a thing to show you. So for GDPR reasons, I've got no subscribers on there. So I'm not going to talk about anything else particularly right now, except maybe I'll quickly cover creating a landing page for Laura. But I'm going to show you kind of the premise, how to send out an email with Mailerlite. So if we go to the campaigns tab up here, if anyone's got any issues and can't see me or anything like that, just let me know. But it seems fine here. So we'll go straight to create campaign. Yeah, so first of all, the campaign name this is just for you. So the customer won't see this. This is for you to identify it later. So there's all sorts of things I've used it about. But say I'm using this say this is my newsletter one. Goodness sake, I'm typing on one computer and looking at a different screen. So say this is May's newsletter. So then my subject is what the client will see when they receive it. So something like FFB's May news. I'll try and think of something far more sexy when I do actually send it out. So who's it from? So it's my business name, but I'll probably just change it. Or I would change it completely to filter free business, depending what I set it up as in the first place. So if we go to next and content, and then wait 3 hours for my internet. So on the paid for version, there's a template gallery, but that's not included in the free version. You have to make your own, which is not tricky. So if we go to drag and drop editor, there's a typical thing that happens in my house of whenever I have a live, Tom also has a video call and it just kills our internet. And that's basically what's happening right now, I think. So when you go to this, it will set you up a template basically that you can use. The beautiful part is right at the bottom, it will already fill in your footer for you. It will put your business address, which you have to legally show for distance selling regulations. I use a local business centre as my business address. You can get lots of virtual tenancy addresses if you don't want to use your home, but technically, legally, you must put an address on there. It also, for GDPR purposes, allows people to unsubscribe. On the free version, you will have to keep the Mailerlite logo. That's just what it is. And you can edit these yourself in the settings. So first of all, I'd go up here and I decide I want to change the logo to mine. So I can bin that, I can browse. Oh, I have set some things up. This was my question as to whether I set anything up. So we'll do it as a filter-free business one. So I can whack my logo in there when it eventually loads. So here I can type. Ooh, it's so hard typing sideways. I can set where I want them to go if they happen to click on the logo. The likelihood is that they won't, but if they happen to. Then if I go to settings, I can make it bigger or smaller. Generally, what it comes for is fine. The padding means it will go closer to the top and closer to the bottom. You can change all of that. And you can also set your background to be a colour if you wish. Generally, white is preferred. People can read better on white. It makes more sense. So that's that. Then I can put my header. So it's come as prepared as I need it to be. I just click in it and change it. So I can just call this May update if I want. And then write something here that make your reader excited. What would make you excited? So obviously, in fact, I'm not even going to change it because whatever I think will actually be worse than making you feel excited. So in here, you can write text. If you don't want text, if you want to go straight into a picture, you can just delete this block. Okay. So in here, we've got an image here. I can delete it. I can upload my own. So I can either upload one from my downloads folder, of which I will have bazillions. So I can upload something from here. It's a new exciting thing going on right now. I can change settings so I can make it bigger or smaller. Yeah, whatever I want. But anyway, here is a button. So the button could be go to the group. So if I was advertising something new or telling them about something I want them to do, I can click on the button. I could write join group. And the link, I'm just going to get it off screen. I don't think you'll see this. I could get the link for my group and I could paste it in there. It's not even the same link for the same group, but I'm just demonstrating. And then save that. If I want to change the button color, if I go to settings here and then button settings, it's a bit of a sneaky one, that one. Here and then button, I can change the color. So for me, obviously I have all of my brand colors on Canva that you would think I know the hex codes of by now, but I don't. So I can grab the color and paste it in here. It changes my button to orange. I can change my text color if I want, or I can just change the size and make it bold. You can really, really personalize this, but you can see how quickly you can get a professional looking type newsletter out really quite quickly. Is everyone still there? Has anyone got any questions yet? So if I don't want this divider, I can delete it. I can start talking about why you would do this. And all of this stuff is editable here. Ready to start, links. However, if I want to add something in completely by myself, if we look at these blocks down this left-hand side here, so say I just want another title in here, I just drag it and drop it, click on it, and then I can edit it in there. More news, like an exclamation mark on everything. So you can drag and drop this stuff. If you want to put your social links and a logo in anywhere else, you can. My social links aren't there because I haven't actually filled them in yet on the settings. If I had, they would show up right there. And up here on blocks, you can even filter them. So you could just filter it for the buttons. So you can have them in columns. Just remember what it will look like on a mobile. But this is what we can test in a minute. So say I've done my newsletter, I've done a call to action. So really important thing of a newsletter is know why you're sending it. So I'm just going to come back so you can see my face a little bit. Just so I'm little there, look, hi. So when you're doing a newsletter or any kind of email marketing at all, know what your purpose is. And there can be loads of different reasons that you do email marketing. In fact, I say loads, there's kind of four reasons you'll do email marketing. So you'll either do something like a newsletter that's to update and to inform and almost always to sell as part of your newsletter. You can do an acquisition email, which is to get new customers. So these might be to people who have signed up for something free on your website and you want to send them specifically something that follows up afterwards. You can do a retention email, which is where you have your current customers that you want to nurture, you want to keep them. So perhaps you're giving them something extra or you're just sending them value-packed content with no sell, nothing else, but your reason for sending it is to nurture your current customers. Or promotional email, straight up promotional, I've got something to sell, here it is. There's kind of those four are your main reasons for sending an email. So when you're crafting it, make sure you understand what your reason is at the moment. So if I was sending this one, I've done a huge amount of mixed messages here. So first I said it was a newsletter, then I'm trying to sell in it, which is fine. You can sell in a newsletter. So if it was a newsletter, I would expect to put May update. I'd expect to put something here that kind of tells them the latest news. which would lead on to whatever it is that I wanted to sell at that point. So for me, next, it will be my email marketing course. Right now, it's still the Ideal Client course. Because anybody that hasn't done that, I really, for 10 quid, think you should be doing that, because that helps you talk to the people that you want to talk to in your emails far more easily. So make sure you know your reason for sending the email before you send it. Then what we can do is we can preview and test it. So if we click this, we can go into preview mode. Wait another hour. This will show what it looks like on desktop. So bear in mind, I would have changed all the other button colors. I would have even changed the link colors. Shows what it looks like on desktop, shows what it looks like on mobile. So if you have used something like these, look, that are on desktop, they're in columns. So you've got 3 columns straight across. On mobile, you've got to check they still look okay. And they're fine. For me, I would want those centralized, but it means you've got to centralize them on desktop as well. So I might go back and change that if I was doing this. Otherwise, if I'm perfectly happy with it, that's fine. We can send it. So we've come out of here. Then what I would do is I would send a test email. So I could send a test to myself to check what it looks like. Right, so I'm in a closed group, but let me just actually check my emails to make sure I'm on the right one. Right, so if I come, I don't know if I can drag this onto the other screen. Just trying to be able to show you this. So here's the test email, and this is what it looks like on my test. So providing that all looks okay, it does say test on the thing, but otherwise everything else is there. So if I'm perfectly happy with that, I click done editing. Right, whose question have we got, Jay? Does it have to be in columns, or can you just have a paragraph of text? No, you can absolutely have a paragraph of text. Let me just see if I can go back. This is where I break it all. It all depends what kind of block you drag and drop on here. So here, this block that they've dropped on are like, they've dropped it on as 3. So you can see by the square that comes around it. Let me just make it big again. You can see by the square that comes around it that they've made it in 3. If you just want a paragraph of text, you can just find the text, or you can even just have a text box, and that would just make it there. And even though that one's naturally centralized, you could happily left align it if you wanted. So no, you can have it however you want. It's just beware of, if you do things in columns, make sure they look okay on mobile, is basically what I'm trying to say. So yeah, done editing. Well happy. Right, Laura, can you make templates so you just change? Yes, absolutely. So when I've done this, I will show you how to duplicate it. So basically, I get to choose who it wants to go to. So when I talk about segmenting, you can make groups up for different people, and I'll talk about that briefly in a minute, but I don't want to go too far into stuff. So I get to choose. So if I want to send it to everybody on my list, I would select all active subscribers. Obviously, it's a GDPR test list, so there's only me on it. And then I just review and confirm. So it will tell me to check my subject, check who's sending it and which email address it's coming from. I can go back in and check my content again. I can let it check my, this helps check where people have clicked on it. It's always a good idea. I haven't linked my Google Analytics to this as a test. So it's, oh, maybe I have. We'll see. It might tell me I can't, or it might say I can and still not show me anything anyway. We'll see. No, it's letting me. Then I can go to schedule. And the beautiful thing is I can either send it now or I can send it later. So I can pick for that to be sent on a Friday at 10:30. The lovely thing is, if you are planning in advance, which is something I will be advising you all to do at some point, is start batching your stuff. So you spend a few hours a day making content posts, you spend a few hours a day writing emails and then scheduling them. This is how we get out of that cycle of always having to constantly create stuff. So ideally, I would like eventually to be scheduled up for like a month or so in advance. And this is how we would do that. We'd click send later. And then I can literally click schedule. If I click send now, it would send. So that will sit in the outbox. Once it has sent, it will move into the sent folder. What you were saying, Laura, of a template is do your first one, and then even when it's in the sent box, if you click copy, it will copy exactly as it was. It will also copy it to the same recipients and everything. So just make sure that you want to send it to the same people, and then just edit it. So it'll take you straight back to the first page. So I could change this to newsletter June, blah, blah, blah. You get the thing. And if you go back, it'll just sit in the draft folder for you. So yes, that is how you copy it. Jenna, can you create recipient groups? Yes. So in subscribers, in here, so segments and groups are different. I'm not going to go into that on here. But groups, yes, you can create a group and have it for whatever purpose you want. I just set some example ones of things I would have. I've got a lot more than that. So every freebie anyone downloads would go into a specific group. And then one thing I always make sure is that they all copy onto my master list so I can use them for, wrong one, this one. So I can use them for kind of everything as well. So yeah, they'll go onto a certain list and then I will copy them all onto my master list. There are ways to do that automatically. It probably involves some linking of some kind of integration stuff. So something like Zapier, which I could talk about if you needed me to. Okay, I filled that half hour really quickly. I'm going to show Laura how to set up like a landing page on here. This doesn't go into how to set up a freebie or an opt-in or the reasons people give you their email address, because realistically, the most usual way someone will give you their email address is if you are exchanging it for something. So I will have, so I've got my Plan Like a Pro printable. People give me their email address in exchange for that, and they will get that automatically. That's called an opt-in or a lead magnet or a freebie. And I talk about all that in this email marketing class. And I will do some little bits of training on it, but I'm not doing big trainings. So they will do that by coming onto a landing page. That's generally the way they tend to swap your email address for whatever it is you've got. But I will show you really quickly how to make a quick landing page if you can't do it on your website. So if we go back to here and we go to sites, create a landing page. So really easily. I'll just call this, test. Just call this test. Then I get to choose which group I want these people to join after they sign up to this landing page. So if it was my planner one, I'd want them to join Plan Like a Pro. I'd also want them to go on my master list. So please wait, pick a template. I'm just going to select the first one. Come on. Got any more questions, fire them at me, because I am intending to keep this to half an hour. We're only a bit over because of my whole internet saga. So here we go. I picked a really poor one. Let me just see if there's a really simple squeeze page one. So a squeeze page is kind of, let's start again really quickly. Create a landing page. Let's call it F2. I just want the simplest one to show you, because this isn't what I'm intending to show, but it's a really relevant question from Laura. So all I basically want is one where they can just pop their name in. I don't want any. I'm also not sure why it's even making me have one. I just want a really quick one. Like this. We'll do coming soon. I still want a smaller one than this. I generally make them from scratch. I'm not sure why the option's not there. So use this template. You're very welcome, Laura. Right, so basically, you would change all of this. You would change all of this stuff. I delete the stuff you don't want, a video, blah, blah, blah. basically this is the bit we care about. So you could get rid of all of this. You could type in your title there, like get my plan like a pro. Anna. I'd obviously type a bit more like that. Obviously an exclamation mark. So the settings on that, we've picked another complicated one. Not important. Right, so in this box, I can go to the form. So it's got the email address in here. I can add a field so I can get their name and put that first. Generally, let's just check, yeah, first name, last name. But here, you want to change this label to say first name, or they put their whole name in one box. You can set it so whether the field's required, whether they need to be forced to put that in. The email's always required. Oops, there. So this is basically what I'm talking about. You can change your colors, you can change your settings, you can add some stuff in. So if you are saying by subscribing to this, you're also subscribing to my newsletter, you need to type something like that in there. You don't have to have a tick box. It's dodgy ground. You don't have to have a tick box as long as you put in a disclaimer here saying that they will be added to something else as well. You can add a confirmation checkbox to let them opt in. But if you do, they will very, very rarely tick it. Be explicit. Be very explicit of why you're doing these things. You can do a huge amount, so you can ask them what you want to use them for. I rarely do. I put an explicit thing here saying, by downloading this, you will be signing up for my regular newsletter. There, so I would save that, and you can get the success page there, and you can edit that on there. And that's all you would need to do, Laura, to get them to put to get them to insert their email address kind of manually. If you go to, automatically, if we go back to here, once we have finished, you will have the link to send them to. So this is where they're sending it to. I'm not sure if it lets you do this. I'm going to say that's taken anyway. No. So you can add a little icon. No, you can't. It's only in that plan. If I click save, so you can add all of this if you choose. If you're just doing it to send people directly to this page, you won't need to. So that, at its most basic, is it. If you copy this URL, if I send it and I copy it and send them to that page, that's their sign up page, and they will get added onto my Plan Like a Pro email and my master list. From there, I can do really smart things, like I can set up automations so that they get automatically emailed for certain things. There's a heck of a lot I can do from that point. But on a really basic level, you can use Mailerlite as a landing page for collecting email addresses if you can't do it through your website. If you can do it through your website, it's definitely more recommended because you're pulling traffic in to your site, which is what we want to do. But otherwise, that's a really, really quick and easy way to do it. If I'm doing something that's a quick, short, kind of no commitment course, I might just whack a landing page up through Mailerlite because it's just so quick. All right. Has that been helpful? I've got loads more stuff coming up. So we've got one of these little lives every Monday. The topics change. You can suggest topics. And it's really important to me that you do, because this is what I love doing. I love teaching. Oh, my eyes went psycho. That's what I love doing. I love teaching. I love sharing the shit I know. So yeah, if you've got topic ideas, let me know. If you haven't done the email, no, not the email marketing, that's this one. That's coming. If you haven't done the ideal client course, please just flipping do it. You might have done ideal client work before. This one's, I focus on it in a really, really different way. It's just an online video and quite a decent download to help you work through that, so that you know that who you're talking to is who you want to be talking to. So if there's no more questions, I'll get off. Like I said, if there is, stick them on this thread, hit #replay, and I will reply to everything later on today. I will put the link for the ideal client course in. It's so worth it. All right, ladies, thanks, Sharon. I haven't been putting any of the comments on. I'm glad it was interesting. Yeah. The course that's coming is ideal. It will talk you through step by step on what to do. But if you've got any specific questions or anything you do need to know more of, just post them in and let me know. I will answer everything that I can because that's what I want to do. You're welcome. Have a lovely day too. All right, ladies, thanks for joining me, and I will see you next Monday, if not before. Bye.